Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that. For those of you that don't know, a little fun fact about me, I love dogs. Silence! Ow! I'm also a bit of an empath, too. Just the other day, I live streamed. That's it, that's the video, and where I talked about a bunch of various topics, many of which of zero consequence, but I found this one with Hasan's dog relatively interesting, and wanted to make a whole video about it to not only share this with you guys, but hear your thoughts on it as well. And this is a big, chunky, honking topic, as you can tell by the length of the video below, so without further ado, I'm not going to filibuster you into submission. Let's just... That sounds really weird. I think Hasan's guilty. So that's what we're going to look at today. I actually have not seen the original video, and so essentially the goal for today, Boomer Frenchman. Okay, I'm getting a weapon now. I need to get a weapon of some sort. Please tell me the dog's okay. So we're going to talk about that. We can hurt you more with our words than you can with your weapons. Bold. But wrong. Sav X Kirk X Jack Black Polycule Yowie. Yeah, guys, everyone take different various size pieces of wood and beat that guy. So there was this whole debacle that happened recently where Hasan was accused of electrocuting his dog with a shot collar. Apparently his dog walked out of the shot and he electrocuted the dog. Now, let me take you down my thought process of this whole situation. Then we're going to actually watch the video because I saw this AF post about it, with multiple different videos and camera angles, which is extremely useful for our conversation today. But when I first heard it, I thought, oh, okay, so maybe he's training the dog to stay in the shot, but a shot collar isn't really necessary. You could probably do that with like a clicker or like treats, maybe a reward system instead of a punishment system. There's definitely other ways of doing it, but I'm curious, is it true? Did he shock the dog when it walked out of the shot? Because dogs scream for no goddamn reason sometimes, but they also scream for valid reasons. So it's completely out there, and also my opinions on Hasan are essentially just milquetoast. They're very middle of the road. I've enjoyed his streams in the past, but at the same time, I don't consume his content enough to be like, I love that man so much. He's buff. He's attractive. When I watched him, he wasn't... I was gonna say when I watched him, he wasn't as political. No, when I watched him, I was more political, so I was just less affected by it. The clip, yeah, it's possible his reaction was terrible too. Yeah, no, the fact that he's... Okay, let's talk about it. Sounds very attractive, but he'd be better as a trophy husband. All right, let's see. What's this about? Honestly, I don't think he shocked the dog. He constantly gets taken out of context, so shocking his dog on camera would be a stupid move. Well, yeah, but also, keep in mind, Valazriel, cool name, he gets clipped out of context so often because he says stupid shit. Like, I saw one thing where someone clipped him out of context saying, like, I don't give a shit if he has breathing issues. He's a dog, and he's talking about pugs. And it's like, okay, well, there's like a billion different versions of context here that's necessary. But like, why would he say that anyway? But anyways, let's see.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence.
Okay, so here's for those of you that don't know, this is a dog and this is a man.
It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Huh. Now that is questionable. What just happened there? What was that?
America, Kaya, please.
I saw the dog tripped on this platform. Also, he said, Kaya, please. What's wrong with the dog walking?
Just fucking go, just stop.
And him reaching for things too? Oh, that does not look bright. That does not look good. Sounds just so annoying. I wish he would just shut his gorgeous mouth. Literally. Not a good look. Anyway, wow. But the thing is, at the same time, the reaction that I'm seeing to this shit is crazy. I'm seeing shit like Ethan Klein come out of the woodwork like, why would he ever do this? He's evil. Meanwhile, like 2 weeks ago, he's like, I think that bombing kids is epic. Now, there's a whole multiverse of disproportionate reactions across the internet regarding this whole Hasan Piker calling on Thor to smite his dog situation. But I think that this tweet sums it up quite well by Earthsinger VTuber, because it's just... let's give it a quick read. I'd always wondered how Hasan Piker manages to keep Kaya so still and perfectly in place during his streams. Now I know, and it's disgusting. Using a shot collar to force your dog to stay in one spot for hours just to act as a background prop isn't training, it's coercion. If you're too lazy or impatient to train properly, or too proud to hire a professional, that's your failure, not the dog's. No animal should be trained to stay motionless for 6-hour plus streams. That's unnatural and cruel. When you shock your dog for moving, treat it like content, gaslight viewers, and ban chat for calling it out. Yeah, that's abuse, all right, and you don't deserve to have a pet. Now, my issue with this tweet isn't the contents of the tweet. I understand concern over an animal's well-being. It's the fact that almost the entire tweet is going off of just illusions of information, thoughts that they have on the situation, and not actual cemented evidence or facts, but they treat it like that. And that's irritating because then it goes from being angry about a situation to lying about it and spreading misinformation. which doesn't help your case in any way whatsoever. And Tectone did the exact same thing, which Tectone's a whole other storybook to uncover someday. But he says, I always wondered how Hasan kept his dog behind him all stream. It's because he uses a shock collar with a setting so high that his dog fucking screams when he uses it. Using your dog as a prop to seem more friendly, relatable, and down to earth, when in reality... That was the end of the sentence, I guess. The dog isn't sitting there of his own volition, but staying there out of fear. I'm beyond disgusted. Fuck this man's whole existence. Now, yet again, this is another instance of, where's my evidence? I don't know. I made it the fuck up. Like, we don't know if it's a shock collar. We are thinking it's a shock collar, and evidence is pointing towards that. But basing the point of contention around your anger around a hypothetical and making that your news story isn't a story. It's a story. But that's it. It's no news. Take the news out of that. Like, I understand. Hasan is a political content creator, so everything he does is going to be polarizing by nature. But use that anger you have towards Hasan for saying things you disagree with on being a researcher, being a true-blooded detective or some shit. I don't know. Like push him to release the information that you want to know, which he does. We'll cover that later in the video. And it makes these people look like idiots. But, you know, that's going to happen when you make things up online. Wait, you can lie on the internet? Wait, there's 5 fingers on my hand? So wait, I want to see the rest of this clip. What actually happens? He does say, uh-oh.
Fucking go back. Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? You're being such a baby.
That is strange. It just kind of makes me think he didn't shock her. He was immediately shocked by it. Pun not intended, but I'll intend it for this one. He was shocked by her reaction. But the thing that makes me, like, allow the benefit of the doubt. Keep looking. He just didn't give a fuck. Yeah, let's see. Actually,
you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom. No,
sure,
she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone.
What's wrong with the dog roaming the house? Is that not normal? Does he need the dog to constantly be sitting on its charging pad? Actually, I can answer that. It is amazing to me that blue light glasses designed to keep my eyesight safe from blue light give me a migraine like 3 seconds into using them. Buddy, I'll take the blindness to go. Anyways, yes, I've come from the future with Hasan's message. Prophecy. He responded live on stream to most of the different variables in this allegation, and my goal is what I'm going to do is I'm going to snippet it up, I'm going to take it, slice it into nice little pieces for an appetizing meal, and put them throughout the video in tune with the various parts that we cover back in the stream that we did, the whole what you're watching with your eyes thing. But in response to him being able to roam, he said this.
As far as not letting her roam in the room itself, the reason why she's not allowed to roam inside of this room, with the exception of like stretching or getting up, getting down, drinking water, things like that, is because she likes to lay on the ground. When she lays on the ground, that's terrible for her joints. Every single thing that I do with this dog is either with a professional dog trainer or with a vet. A lot of people don't understand how serious this is to take care of your dog, especially when you have a very large dog. Large dogs have a tendency to get hip dysplasia. You only go 1 VOD bag and Kaya roams the entire VOD amount. I know, but it doesn't matter, right? Because if you are in here for an extended period of time, you already know this. But the problem here is that the narrative is not being guided by people who are interested in having a reasonable opinion on this.
All right, so crossing off the first point of contention on the list that the dog's not allowed to roam, it's just a chunk ass. The dog's a chunky chunk ass. It's a big ass, chunky, honking chunk ass. Ran out of breath saying that. That wasn't even that profound or anything. But that's just one point of many, so let's continue. Okay, what are these other clips that AF posted?
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar.
Wait, so let me read what this says. Turkish left Twitch streamer Hasan Piker appears to use a shock collar on his dog as it walked out of the frame during a live stream, causing the dog to yelp in pain and cower away from Piker. Many have suggested that Piker's using the dog as a prop for his streams, hence using a shock collar to prevent the dog from moving during recordings. The shoe's fitting! And the benefit of the doubt that I was going to add before I continue, my cat, Storm, she is actually a big meatball. She's a meatball, actually, to start things off. But also a bitch. She's loud. She's like, literally, your name's David. Hi, David. She's a meatball. But she does this thing sometimes where she walks through the house, silent as a mouse, but it's a cat, so much larger than a mouse, and will walk in front of you as you're walking somewhere and then scream at the top of her lungs. Not even when you've come in contact with her, but when you were in, like, she is in your path. She'll walk in front of you and they go, ah, ah! So, like, I understand some animals are vocal. I don't think he did the shock the dog, but holy, the way he acted was so suspicious. I know. Devil's advocate saying, what if he didn't shock the dog, but you would at least think to get your ass up and check on your dog to make sure they're okay because they yelped. Yeah, that's another thing that throws me off. What? He didn't, I mean, I guess he thinks the dog's spoiled, so he's like, whatever, the dog's just yelling to yell. People saw the way my mom has to correct her eye-seeing dog. It could look like abuse. Yeah, I know. That's the other thing that I thought about. Some people are just not naturally. Some people train dogs to a much more extreme manner, but that doesn't necessarily, like, this is really, even with that context in mind, this is a weird video. It's a very strange video. I want to see what this other clip was.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for
really quiet. Can you speak up, buddy?
for fish, and his dog's barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Are they? Are they incredibly effective? That looks good.
And now it's mainstream.
Wait,
I love
what's this?
her. I think her collar's too tight. You have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, she has a lot of neck meat.
Okay, well, that's just a tight collar. That's different. What is this? What is this? What is this you're giving me? Oh, an image of what looks like a shock collar. I saw this one drama alert post, which pissed me off, but it's a good thing to address regardless. Some people were editing the footage.
Please just fucking go.
Yeah, that, like, I get wanting to look for the bright side here, but editing the footage, that does not make you look like a good person. It makes you look like a liar. You don't want to look like a liar. Saying it's like a vibrating collar with a flashlight. I thought that said flashlight for a moment, and I was going to be concerned why a dog would have that. So, just fucking... apparently they've been trying to push Hasan to reveal the collar, and he won't, which pisses me off a lot. Because, like, I have no choice but to believe that you did use a shock collar on your dog to make sure it stays in shot. Because why are you not... It's so easy to just be like, here it is. Here... Oh. Hi, how you doing? Come here often? It's me again. Yeah, he did end up showing the collar off, and so I want to show you... Why do you think I'm here? I'm showing you a snippet from the... Go look at this.
For those of you who are confused by it, I do not have a shock collar. All of the other clips that people have been showing are either the AirTag or the vibration collar that she has. This is one of Kaya's many collars. This is the one that people are talking about. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. There's the AirTag. There's the vibrator. It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime, and it also has a tracker on it. I understand why people are concerned about it. It makes sense why people will be like, oh my God, this person is being abusive if they only saw that clip. The most insane part about it is that a lot of people were just like automatically under the assumption that I've been like abusing my dog, that I love more than most human beings.
Now, you ain't slick, Mr. Hasan. You can't just appeal to my emotions and say you love the dog a lot and make me think that you don't harm this dog. However, you can show me that the collar does not do an electric function and then realize that this whole thing has been over nothing. I don't know why the dog screamed, though. That part is still a question mark to me, and it's actually a question mark to Hasan as well. He says that he claims the dog clipped his claw, sorry, Kaya, on the bed, and that's why she screamed. And that was what, as you saw when I was watching the stream, that's the same thing that I said when I was watching the video is just a possible reason for why the dog screamed. And I think the fact that we don't know why Kaya screamed is the biggest point of contention in this entire situation, because without an answer, people are able to go off on their own tangents and just assume what happened, because not even Hasan knows. And so, you know, that leaves like an understandable guise, a stink line, it's called aura, brah, of susness over this situation. I probably could have chosen any other word, but I didn't. I don't see what the problem was, though. I know some people, like, that is the thing. People are aggressive with their dogs, and this is probably just an aggressive training technique if he is using a shock collar. And I also think, regardless of the fact that he's shocking the dog, which I don't think is a good thing, like, there was obviously not, don't fucking electrocute your dog to make it a stream prop. That's weird and pretentious. But at the same time, the level of reaction that this is receiving online is too much. It's just fucking absurd. There's no need to be popping blood vessels in your brain over this. Yes, you could be a little concerned. I'd expect a PETA article, perhaps, but not what I'm seeing here. In fact, is there a PETA article? Let's see. No way. Huh. Wait. Hollywood Reporter says PETA response to Hasan Peter Piper picked the pick up Piper gained increasing mainstream prominence. Donald Trump took the presidency. Stop it! There's a gnat in my face. Piper denied the claim, explaining the fact that Kaya was wearing a training collar that vibrates with an air tag attached, and that she accidentally clipped herself while rising from her bed when the incident occurred. Okay, we saw that clip already. Why is that the image? Wait, is that Why does the Hollywood Reporter link to a Know Your Meme article? There is no reputable sources. It's all just cannibalism in the form of media. PETA added, positive reinforcement is a far more effective training method and doesn't betray our animal companions. Trust in us. Yeah, Pete, I bet. And lo and behold, after Hasan's response regarding the fact that it's a vibration collar and that he has to have the dog sit in a specific place so it doesn't get hip dysplasia, etc., etc. Remember Earthsinger VTuber from earlier in this video? Yeah, they dropped a goddamn encyclopedia on Twitter.com, and I wanted to go over some of it. He says, Hasan Piker insists that he never shot Kaya and claims he merely snagged her claw on the bed. He's held up the collar and controller on stream, and it's only a vibration collar. But the evidence, both visible and uncovered, tells a different story. Please. Elaborate, I'm curious. In the viral clip, the collar on Kaya is visible. XQC and others broke it down. Of course, the modern philosopher, the Socrates of our age, XQC. You can see the device light up. Hasan's hand move, and then Kaya yelps. Hasan shows zero reaction to her cry, which seriously undermines the claw snag explanation. There's no sign that her paw got caught on anything. Which, like, where's that evidence? What are we looking at? Like, I get it. I get worrying about the dog, and that's valid. Of course, I would never want a dog to get shocked, to sit in a corner and be a stream prop. But at the same time, where are you getting this information from? Felix, the Canadian? You think that is a reliable source? You're gonna like cite that bibliography style? That's like the equivalent of using stone tablets you found in an ancient Egyptian cave as a source for what the weather is today. The people have since identified the color as an Educator K9800. Who's people? Who's people? Like, literally, I guess because I'm a college student and I'm currently having to deal with a bunch of, like, making sure my work is cited and looks right. When I see this shit, it's just, like, an embarrassment to the idea of writing with words on paper. But it's like, you can't just say things like this and act like you're a news source. It doesn't work, because that's not true. Hasan reportedly removed the electro prongs and taped over their slots, likely to mask its shock functionality. We got a real thinker over here. That directly contradicts his claim that it's a vibration only. Man, come on. That's a nitpick. Be so for real, that's a nitpick. Wait, so the collar can't shock and won't shock, but if you make it, it will. Yeah, buddy, and I can shit myself, but it'd be really hard to and stink a lot if I did. The rest of the majority of this tweet is a giant nothing burger with extra air, but he essentially just says, like, oh, the claw snag situation, even if it were true, the fact that he has a vibration training is telling. Vibration is only a deterrent if you've conditioned the dog via shock. Now, I have no way of explaining this other than telling you that is not true. I've trained dogs in the past. My dog has associated a clicker with a treat. There is various ways to associate things with other things. It's called operant conditioning. It is a very simple concept, and this guy is just taking it, rubbing it all over his booty crack, and then trying to feed it to you. It's just, no, untrue, false. This guy just spouted a whole bunch of nothing. Like, I understand wanting to criticize Hasan, and there are valid reasons to criticize Hasan, but don't just attack him with a bunch of nothing. Attack him with something real and tangible. Like the fact that he admitted on stream to going to a brothel in Germany that was raided multiple times by over 900 German officers for various human trafficking issues, likely implying that he was using prostitutes that were human trafficking victims. Yeah, oops, oh god, I dropped my nuclear bomb at the end of the video. But regardless, I'm gonna get out of here for now. Might dig into that, though. I might dig into that one. That one's pretty crazy. I just found this while I was doing research for this video. But, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Of course, on either side of the aisle, I'm very interested in having the conversation because it's an interesting situation, but it does not look like the dog is being shocked. I think this is genuinely not one of those instances, but conversation's conversation. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you as always. Subscribe if you are new. Like the video if you liked it. Don't dislike it. I won't allow you. I disabled the button. That was me. It wasn't YouTube. It was me. Anyways, thank you. As always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and there's a gnat flying around. I'm like, get his ass.